Welcome to this follow along class with the topic of lower back relief and hip relief. As a little backstory, currently I'm dealing with a little unspecific lower back pain. There was not an injury or an accident. It's basically just everyday life, maybe a lack of sleep or something like that. And I'm using now this class also for me as a very therapeutic movement session. So if you're dealing with pain as well, then this session could be just for you. You don't need much, you just need a little bit of free space. As you see, I'm not even practicing on a mat, so you can really practice this everywhere. Best case scenario, take your shoes off, go outside in the sun if there's any, and follow along. Enjoy.
Let's get to know the different sections of your spine and how you can move them from isolation to improvisation.
So we're just going to start very gently by closing our eyes at first in a standing position and just briefly taking in everything that is physical sensation. So maybe you're standing there and you can feel the pain that you are experiencing a little in your lower back. Now, me personally, I do feel a little bit of tightness there. I don't try to do anything, I just observe. And then I also try to listen if there is anything else going on. Now, I do perceive there's a nice sensation on my skin, which is produced by a light breeze. There is warmth of the sun. And you can just take your time here and really just notice any physical sensations that might arise. Also make sure to have a very nice relaxed breath. As you can see or now hear next to me, there is a river. It's a flow, and just like the river, also our breath is flowing very nicely and easily. Now, if you would like to keep going with this task, you can simply pause the video, but we now continue, so you can open your eyes and you can simply start to kind of let a little bit of movement into your fingers, arms, shoulders. And I'm going to offer now a little frame for a very free movement exploration. So instead of moving through techniques and patterns, let's try to simply move through sensations. So the idea is giving yourself an internal massage almost. So something inside of your spine is kind of moving you, and you simply let this happen. And maybe one movement inspires you to go somewhere else. Now, as this class is dedicated to the lower back, simply try to observe, how does your lower back feel? Do you need to move in a certain way to already give it a nice stretch or a form of release? And if you want to, of course, these movements can take you anywhere, maybe even already into the floor, into an extension, and you just scheme out and test what sort of movements your body now wants to do naturally. The more you practice things like this, the more easy it will come to move in this very intuitive manner. And we simply keep going a little bit. Now I feel this need to go down into the floor and kind of round my spine. Maybe even a little bit of extension. Now this is where I feel this pain sensation, so in this class we're going to definitely be focusing on a little bit of extension in the spine. Again, easy breath. Full relaxation in my face. Don't need to carry any unnecessary tension. Alrighty. Let's keep going with some specific patterns for the spine that will increase awareness, introduce more blood flow, and generally just feel very great. The first one is a very basic pelvic tilt. So your pelvis, this bone right here, your hip bone basically, you can imagine it is a cup of water that is really filled with water all the way. And then if you try to tilt it towards the front, you can imagine water is flowing out at the front of the bowl, basically, the front of your hip. And then you simply try to go to the other side, and it should be flowing now out on the back side of the bowl, right? So this forwards and backwards motion. If you bend your knees, this is much easier. So you can really just stand here and go a couple times into this. We call it the anterior pelvic tilt and then the posterior pelvic tilt. Now, if I lift my shirt, you can better see what is going on here. Really this nice motion of your hip. At first this might be very hard coordinatively for you, or you can already do it. Simply keep going here. And I don't try to squeeze so many muscles while doing so. It should be more a relaxed motion. a couple times. Maybe I can find a little bit more depth, going a little bit deeper. Again, this nice and gentle breath. Shoo. Wonderful. Next up, instead of this pelvic tilt, now we go into a pelvic shift. So what I want to do again, bend my knees slightly. Now I want to sink down one part of the hip. So again, this bowl of water, this time, let's try to float out the water on the side. So tilting sideways and sideways. Again, not too many muscles, squeezes, really very relaxed motion right here. Tilting, tilting, tilting. Already that feels very nice. Okay, so we have these tilts, we have these shifts. Now let's try to combine them and create circles. So imagine now that this bowl of water is really circling around the floor, and the water is like a circle spilling out, whoosh, from side to back, side, forwards. All of these ranges, we can simply start going forwards, tilting the hip towards one side, going backwards towards the other side. Maybe you at first need to do it super slowly. Maybe you can already speed it up a little, but it's really not about speed. It's about feeling good. So try to find a pace that feels good for you. Nice bend in your hip. Boom. And nice big circles. Now I personally feel the need now to go a little bit faster. So that's me, okay? You can really try to sense what you need in this moment. And yeah, I can really feel that these faster motions are great. Boom. Going towards the other side as well. You could start again slow. Front, side, back, side. Or already speed it up and find this nice circle right here. Shoom, shoom. Now while doing so, try to see if any other part of your body is tensed. Maybe your arms. We don't need that. You can just let go. Choom, choom, choom. Wonderful. Alrighty. Now, from the lower back, let's move up into our thoracic back, okay? Even though maybe you're dealing with lower back pain, still it makes sense to open up your thoracic spine, the spine that is kind of like in the middle here. The first thing that we're doing is basically openings and closings of your thoracic spine. So what you can try to do is, in the closing, push your sternum, the bone in the front here, push it backwards, open up your shoulder blades and sink back down. Boom. Then you try to lift it to the front and even maybe a little bit upwards, squeezing your shoulder blades together and going back and forth. In and out. Choom, choom, choom. If you want to, you can also couple your breath, inhaling, opening, exhaling, closing, or trying also the other way around. You don't need to always go with this inhalation opening. You can simply try out and sense for yourself what feels good. Boom, 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 choom. Again, now I feel like speeding up a little bit, so I allow myself to do that. Wonderful. Let's now continue again in our thoracic spine, this time with shifts. So I will simply open up my arms and try to stay on this line without bending, simply trying to shift towards one side and towards the other. I'm not moving with my hips, it's really my thoracic spine. Boom, and this is also moving into my lower back. So already this feels quite nice. Relaxed breath, just like the river. We are, by the way, in Munich, in southern Germany, and this river is called Isar. It's a beautiful one, comes from the mountains, from the Alps. I love to be in this river in summer times and take baths there. Maybe even today I'm gonna take one, but let's see about that. It's already, or still cold. Shifting, 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 boom, boom, boom. Alrighty, now let's conclude the spinal movement section with a little bit of freestyle. So simply from your pelvis, move into your thoracic whenever you want to. A little bit of pelvic motion, a little bit of thoracic motion. Boom, back and forth. Now I also feel like adding some rotation into my spine, so please go ahead and also do that if you want to. Wow, and now I personally feel like opening up a little bit more and really letting my head also flow with it. Just feels nice in the moment. So as you see, this video was not fully prepared, but I also try to go with what feels good in the moment to me. Allowing spontaneity and improvisation and practice is really important to develop the skill. It might be that you just need something different now, so you can also pause the video and keep going, maybe more with the isolated drills. Wham! Alrighty, let's give it a nice shake. Shaking always feels nice. Shake it however you want to. Boom. For just a quick moment, you can again stand still, even if you wanted to close your eyes, and again observe, how does your spine feel now? Is there already a difference? Maybe a sensation of warmth, a sensation of smoothness.
If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by commenting, giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Also, if you want to learn more about your spine, check out Supple Spine, an online program which contains in-depth video breakdowns to all of the topics discussed in this video and much more. Check it out on neilteisner.shop.
And we keep going, this time going into the floor. Now, this floor is great because I can find elevation in order to go better into a squatting position. If a squat for you is very hard, simply now use a book underneath your heel, hold on to a little object so you have a counterbalance, maybe even hold on to a door frame, and do anything that you need in order to go now into the squatting position. And in the squat, I simply now want to kind of open my spine towards one side and towards the other side. I'm gonna show it from the back so you see what's happening. So squat and kind of like shifting my torso around, trying to find these nice soothing movements in my lower back. Cha, cha. And even adding some rotation here feels quite nice. So you can use your knee to kind of push yourself into rotation. That feels amazing. Now, as you see, or better as you hear, I like to vocalize movements also. And if you have the need to kind of like hum or whisper or whatever it is, then please let this come out. It could really help and loosen up your body a little bit. Now, from the squat, simply hands onto your knees, extending your legs, flexing, meaning rounding your spine, and going back again a couple times. Lifting your tailbone upwards. And again, really sensing, is that nice for your back? Do you need that? Do you need something else? I will keep going a little bit. Oosh. Cha. 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 Wonderful. Now from here, placing my arms backwards into this mini table position. Now this is great because you can now really try to have most of your weight in your arms and also in your legs, so your hip is really just hanging down. It is not resting on the floor, but it's kind of like hanging. Your body is like a hammock, maybe, okay? Now from here you can also try to find interesting pelvic motions. Again, maybe these tilts or shifts, and also thoracic tilts and shifts, and therefore opening up your spine. That feels very, very nice because you can really let go of your spine and back. A couple times squeezing my shoulder blades. Now, and with the sun in my face, this really is a premium little practice right here. Okay, now left hand, twisting my fingers backwards, shifting the weight only onto this arm. Now I'm gonna work on extending my spine a little bit. So this is what I really need for my specific pain. So what you can do is shift the weight a little bit more onto your feet, rock back and forth, and with time slowly opening up your hips. Really activating means squeezing your buttocks so your hip can float upwards. If this is too much for you, simply hang out here and shift your weight back and forth, maybe sitting onto the floor and pushing up again. This could be enough, right? But I now really need and want this opening right here. Again, as you see, I'm freestyling my way through it, lifting, but then also rotating a little bit because it feels nice. Okay, let's not do too much. I will go to the other side. Again, planting, shifting the weight a little bit into my feet, seeing where I need the weight so I can slowly open up my body. Wonderful. Let's now again go into this little forward fold, bending your knees and giving your spine a nice little shake here. Whew. Maybe even taking your hands and giving your lower back a nice little tap. Bending your knees, rolling up to standing. Oi, a couple of steps, a couple of bounces and shakes. Hui. Closing your eyes for just a second. And again, like in the beginning of the session, just sensing what is going on in your body. Any different sensations now. A very nice deep inhalation. And a sigh to relieve. And people, this is basically it for this session. A very quick one. I hope it helped to relieve a little bit this tightness sensation, this pain sensation in your lower backs. Let me know in the comments, do you want to see more little follow-alongs like this one? I feel that sometimes they are really nice and also necessary to really get an idea of all of the small things that we can do day in, day out, instead of just focusing on the acrobatics and the big movements. That's it for now. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel if you are not a subscriber yet. Check out all of my online programs, you will find everything in the video description, and see you in the next one.